I think that's why mine's been working. And like, again, like some complaints, like guys are like, this is expensive. I'm like, you might think it's expensive, but like Drew has some offshore accounts and he's buying all the fucking videos. So,
well, right. Like then don't buy it.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back.
I feel like I'm like backstage announcing our live show, which we just came back from.
Yeah.
I got so hyped. Backstage.
They were incredible.
Hunched over, holding the mic with two hands.
Back from Philly. Actually back from Philly. Last week I was pretending.
The shows were amazing, probably.
Can I read you this tweet?
After,
since you don't know.
Right now? Before we
Right
do
now.
ads?
Right now. It's relevant. Okay. Someone said... So this girl wrote, she said, I really be finding myself saying, hi guys, out loud every new episode of Girls Gotta Eat. And I said, who can relate? I retweeted her and I said, who can relate? And this girl wrote, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of GGE. Welcome back. Every single time it's my boost of serotonin. So comforting. Oh,
I know. Guys, that's so sweet.
I know. So we'll never stop.
Oh yeah, we're never gonna stop.
5 years, we're like, hi guys.
Ugh, again.
No.
Ashley runs the Twitter, so I didn't even know this happened. Ashley's like, I retweeted it. I'm like, how do you do that? All right, guys, we're back from Philly. We have done shows, but this was our first big theater show in almost 15 months and the first show back at the Fillmore in 15 months. So we are honored to be there.
It was so great. Thanks to you guys for coming out. We'll just, we'll keep this short. If you were there, you know. We had the Hunkamania guys open the show, the male dancers. They were just epic as always. We had them open our show in Atlantic City years ago. You guys can go to Hunkamania and see their male review like every week in Philly. I think they do it every Friday night, Hunkamania. They were so wonderful, and all the girls who came up on stage and just shared their stories and laughed with us. The shows were incredible. My family was there. We had friends there. We had Raina's friends who are now my friends, who are our two biggest hype. They're our hype squad.
They're our hype squad.
They're insane people.
They're my favorite people.
Yeah. And another favorite of ours was our photographer that we used. Okay, so his name is Adam Mason. You may remember us mentioning him because he shot my brother's wedding. So we had to have him shoot with us. We had him do the show. You can check him out on Instagram, Mason Photography. He is unreal. The pictures are unbelievable. It's so important to have great pictures for events like this, also for weddings. He's a wedding photographer. So check him out. We love him. It was so great to have him around. Overall, it was incredible. So it feels so good to be back on tour.
Yes, it does. And we always say, if you guys have never been to our shows before, they are wild as fuck. They are crazy. We bring you guys up on stage. There's dancers. It's the best girls' night out. Bring a date. Come by yourself. It is so much fun. So if you guys came out, thank you. All the tickets for our live shows are selling like crazy through 2021. We're going to be in a million cities coming up. So girlsgetteatpodcast.com and go to the live shows.
Like 10.
That's a million.
It's not a million.
Don't quote me. But we're going to
check and see if we're coming to your city.
Yeah. And we'll announce more soon.
Yeah. What else? Okay. I want to address something.
Okay.
People think they have such a hot take when they watch our videos and they can see the thermostat. Cool. You can see the thermostat. Good for you. You're so unique. Like, okay.
Well, somebody commented it's 77 degrees. It's like, yeah, we turn the air off to record. It's a million degrees in here.
Tell me you're not from New York without telling me you're not from New York. The air conditioners are fucking loud. Very few people have central AC. It's a luxury. If you have central AC and a garbage disposal, you're living large, and we're not there yet.
My building is 1,000 years old. I'll never have central AC.
So it's just, there's so many few buildings with central AC. This is a luxury building. They still don't have it. So we have to turn the AC off when we record, and it gets fucking hot in here. And you guys keep bringing it up, and we're triggered because we're the ones that are sweating through it. So stop bringing it up. Cool that you see it. We get it.
If someone was like, Raina's hair is frizzy and her face is red. Yeah, it's a billion
We're fucking sweaty. Every summer, it's like, here we go.
It's the hottest girl summer.
Recording a podcast in the summer. Hot girl summer.
I want to dress.
I can't wait for winter. Because then we won't be able to turn the heat on and I'll just be sitting here in 50 degrees living my truth.
Okay, so last week we had the Queen, Esther Perel, on the show. And I told my whole family, you have to listen to this. And you and I were talking on the beginning of the episode about 69th birthdays. And I said that you're so lucky that your parents like know what that is and think that's funny. And my mom would never know. And I kind of like roasted her a little bit, but like I didn't really say anything bad. And so I forgot that I told my whole family to listen to the episode.
Because it was like your dream guest.
Yeah, it was my dream. And also I just think like cheating, infidelity, super relatable.
The episode is incredible.
It's incredible. And just desire and keeping a relationship for, my mom's been married for like 26, 27 years. And so like, how do you keep desire alive? Probably in her case, she doesn't, but you know,
Rita, you can't, I don't even know what this text says, but here you are continuing to roast her.
they don't fuck anymore. They're 70. Come on. I mean, your parents definitely fuck.
Okay. They did show up to brunch looking.
Your parents fucked before brunch on Sunday. Listen, everyone knew it. The waitress knew it.
Shut up.
They both sat down. They both ordered mimosas immediately. Your mom was like, I'm feeling like French toast, something sweet. Hee. Your dad's like, yeah, you do. No, your dad didn't get creepy about it. Shut up. Okay, so I get a text from my mom at 2 a.m. trying to listen to your Esther Perel show now. Then I get a text.
2 a.m. Your mom's
2 a.m. 2:05 a.m.
She's firing up a podcast.
2:05 in the morning.
What is her life?
She doesn't sleep.
Well, I feel that.
She'll sleep till like 10. She'll go to 5 a.m. Okay. 2:04. 2:23, I get a follow-up text.
Oh, God.
Ha, 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 period. I graduated high school and started college in 1969. There are no jokes or reality about 69ing that I don't understand. Raina, that was 16 years before you were born. In fact, 1969, I asked my mom about this, and she told me about her view of this. You did not invent sex, you know. That's what my fucking mom said to me.
No.
In fact, my mother, who would be 100,
she's still going.
Who would be 102 today, in 1969, told me it was a normal thing between two people who are intimate. And then she closes with, so how's that for thinking you're so liberated?
What? Your mom is on one.
What? 2:23 in the morning. How's that for thinking you know about sex?
I am so dead.
I'm so dead. You know, listen, guys.
Your mom's like, you know what? It's 2:30 a.m. Let me break down the history of 69.
And the conversations I've had with your grandmother about 69ing. Listen, I grew up in a sex positive house, but like we didn't talk about sex. We were talking about like freaky shit. My mom didn't know when I lost my virginity. I just wasn't, I grew up in like a normal everyday home. I wasn't telling my mom about hookups. We don't joke about 69ing at the table. And if I was like, Mom, you're 69, huh? She'd be like, I don't care about this. Like,
but then at 2:30, she's going to write you
you think you're so fucking liberated.
A thesis about it.
You didn't invent sex, you know. I couldn't wait to tell you.
She's going to listen to this. And then you're going to get another 3 a.m. text.
I woke up all groggy at 7 a.m. Like, that's not what that says.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, did you have to do a double take?
Yeah, I had to read it like 6 times.
Yeah, so your mom's the exact same age as my dad. He graduated high school in 69, which I just love that. Like, class of 69.
So lucky.
You're so lucky.
So lucky.
Class of 69. Does your mom go to her high school reunions? Like, is she into that?
My dad went to his 50th. I don't know if my mom went to hers.
My dad goes to his. Like, he went to Newark High in Delaware, and he still goes to them. So I'm like, this is like, you have the best class ever, but now people are starting to die, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Like, every class reunion, it's like, who's still around?
I was going to go to mine, but that was like a week or two after left me. I don't care. That's his name.
Oh, what?
I can't do it. Can you beep it out? You just beep it out real loud. I go rogue on the podcast after 4 years.
3.5 years, you were just dropping names. Oh my God.
My 10-year high school reunion was right around the time that my fiance had left me, like 2 weeks before. So my mom was like, yeah, you can't go to that. What are you going to tell people that you're...
Well, because you would just have to relive it over and over. I mean, I always thought growing up that I would be like wanting to go to high school reunions, but I've never been to one. And I feel like you used to go prior to social media and it would be such a surprise to see what everybody was up to. But now you just know.
Yeah, I know exactly how fat you got. Okay. And I know how successful or not successful. I know who you married. I know how many kids you have. Yeah. Before social media, like cool. I also think people used to like leave their towns less. So like, I feel like people would stay in touch with the people from they went to high school with. Cause like, they're just kind of around. And so it's just like a fun party when you would go.
Yeah.
Sometimes high school reunions, you haven't talked to any of these people in 15 years. Why go?
Yeah. But then that's kind of fun too, to see what people are up to. But again, like I'm saying, like you can find that out on social media these days. So I have a story about my mom while we're here. So my mom is really into like sentimental stuff. I mean, I am too, but she loves to make picture books. She loves to make slideshows. Like I have so many picture books that she's made me. She just does them on like Snapfish or whatever. But like she'll make one for our Dewey Beach vacations as a family. Like she made one when they built their house. Like she made one for Dewey. It was so sweet. She gave it to me at Christmas. She recently made me one for Matt's wedding. Like she loves doing these, and she just loves like photo albums and stuff like that. And so, if you have an iPhone, sometimes it'll be like, here's this compilation of photos from your years going to Dewey Beach. Do you want to make a slideshow? They'll be like, here's all your memories with your daughter. Here's all your memories with this dog or whatever.
So cute when she
she's
does
made
that.
a few that have been like so fire, and I've sent them to you, and you're like,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're so good. So a couple weeks ago, she said, and she was like, she said, look at all our memories in Dewey Beach. There's a ton. This slideshow is like 3 minutes long, which is pretty long. And so the
100%.
music continues to change. Apple just puts their music to it, whatever they feel the vibe is. I'm watching it. I'm like remembering it. And then all of a sudden it is just a whole montage of me and my ex. And the music changes. It gets real somber. I'm not getting the song changes. It gets really slow and like sad. And it is just all pictures of my ex. She didn't even.
Do you think she didn't proofread it?
I don't know if she did. And I was like, okay. I laughed so hard. It was so funny.
so funny.
Like clearly this was years ago, but like it was so funny that in the middle of the slideshow, the music changes. Ashley and her ex. Memories and Dewey, the good times. It's so fucking funny. And then it just goes back to like our family. It's so crazy. And so Matt and I got such a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, I love when
like
old people use technology.
Like we roasted her for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then yesterday on Facebook, she posted like a collage for Matt's birthday. Why is he in there?
No, I gotta look this up right now. Listen, I understand her not watching a 3-minute video. What will be, but get the fuck. She didn't look at the.
And I'm just gonna.
Is he tagged? Your mom just
He's
tagged
not
him?
tagged, but like he was in a collage that I had made, but he's still in it. He's still in my brother's birthday post. Are you seeing it?
This is so funny. I can't get into Facebook. Probably Facebook's like, no one wants to be here anymore. You know that, right?
Rita's looking right now.
No. Why is your ex? There's not that many photos.
I
like,
know.
She didn't have to scroll.
There's like 5 photos, and he's in there.
It's a sunset. This is so romantic. You guys, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 photos. There wasn't that much to scroll through. Why is there a romantic sunset photo of you and your boyfriend at the beach?
I cannot laugh. So I'll just for effect of like the text I sent my brother, I'll just give him a fake name. We'll go with Kyle. And I just was like, Mom just can't quit Kyle, can she? Like, and he was like, I was gonna say something because it's his birthday post. Why is Kyle on my birthday post? Ashley. It's so funny.
Yeah, I can't stop looking at this. It's incredible. It's all these beautiful photos of you and your family. Why is there a romantic photo of you and your ex? It's so romantic.
And it's just both of these incidences I wouldn't have really thought of, but I'm like, this is her thing now. She's just like gonna sneak him in there.
Your mom's just trolling you. She's like, don't you wish you guys were still together? You're like, Mom, what the fuck?
I just think it's so funny.
I love your mom.
She just like, the photo books get a little weird sometimes because we've broken up with these people. Like Matt, one time she did a photo book for a family vacation and we were all on this boat. Me and my ex were back and forth. Like, I don't think we were fully broken up. She gave them to everyone at Christmas. She gave one to him too. So he has one of these. But Matt had broken up with his ex who was in the picture on the boat. I think my mom just put like a star over her face.
No, she did not.
Or she like cropped her out. Like she had to get her out of there somewhere. So she does it for Matt.
Yeah.
She'll do it for Matt.
You gotta tell those people to stand on the edge of the photo too. Like they can't be in the middle of a photo, guys. Like if you're not like married, or even if you are married, honestly, make your spouse stand on the end of the photo. A couple years ago, we were
that's what it was. You got to
we were at my cousin Jeremy's wedding, and like my brother was kind of recently dating his wife, and my fiance and I were there, and we were all like roasting my brother's girlfriend. Like you got to get on the end of the photos. This isn't probably gonna last. Like whatever. Why is it like years later my fiance left me and they're married for 4 years?
Oh no.
Yeah. So we were roasting her pretty hard. Yeah,
that's so funny.
It was pretty funny.
You were like, my fiance can be in the middle because he's here to stay. Everyone's like, that's what you think.
They're like, he's gonna leave you in a month. You don't even know it yet.
Oh no. So anyway, my mom's trolling. Both of our moms are trolling us, apparently.
Well, I love your mom so much. I love your parents came to the show. Your mom texted me before the show and said congrats. And I just love, I mean, you guys know this if you listen to the podcast. My relationship with your family is really special. So your brother's birthday was yesterday. I texted him happy birthday, brother. And it was just so nice to have your parents and your dad specifically. We were in the middle of a show and I just see this girl lean over across the aisle and take a selfie with your dad.
They're like famous now.
Your dad's watching his daughter on stage and this girl's like, this selfie is more important.
No, people like went crazy for them. They took so many fan photos.
Middle of the show, actually. We were in the middle of a segment. This girl leaned over the aisle to take a picture with your dad. It was amazing.
Oh, but anyway.
Well, last thing about family, since we're talking about this is a family themed intro and then we'll get into the topic and stuff. But I am meeting my boyfriend's family this weekend.
Oh my God.
I'm going to Seattle. I'm going to stay with I'm going to meet his family. So I feel like this is like Jared Freed when he's like, we all know how it goes. Trip, commitment. You know what I mean? He's like, trip, move in together. I love you.
But you're like, Kane's not scared of commitment. So
no, not
like
at all.
He's ready for it. He's like coming to family.
He's like, please come here now. So we're going to Seattle and I'm going to meet his family. I'm very excited. And then he'll meet my whole family at the end of the month.
Oh, at the end of this month?
At the end of August. We're going to bar mitzvah. So it's going to be like baptism by fire. He's going to meet literally the entire family and extended family. He's going to be great. One shot. And I mean, you should be with a partner that you're not concerned is going to be weird with your family. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. And actually, while we're here, we were thinking that we would do a whole episode on meeting the family. We've touched on family stuff a lot, but in terms of just a solo episode, you and me talking about like, when do you introduce someone to your family? What do you have to think about? Like what can go wrong? Like how you feel about them meeting your family, say about the relationship, all that kind of stuff. So that should be coming soon.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And we'll pull you guys with that poll.
You got it.
We'll pull. I say fool and pull weird.
I know you do.
I didn't know. I don't hear it. Like it's the only thing I don't hear. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll poll you guys about the craziest, like I met the family stories. And we always get the wildest shit for that. We've done this for the holidays, but just in general, we'll do it more.
Yes. Well, I feel like I have a story that the listeners might like to share from the weekend.
It was amazing.
It can be relevant anytime. This is a pretty...
It can be relevant.
It's not just
story
like,
at any time.
It's not just like a Philly related thing. It just happened in Philly, but it's pretty indicative of my personality, I feel like. So a couple things. You guys know I love hot coffee in the summer, any time of year. I will drink hot coffee on the beach. I don't fucking care. The guy with the sign right now is holding up something that says like people who drink hot coffee in the summer are psychos. Also, someone said they met him and he wasn't nice. So
that was me. I told you that. So listen, I didn't say I met him and wasn't nice. I said I saw him interact with a couple fans and he was like super rude. He was like, okay, nothing this year, move along.
Okay, we don't want to drag anybody, but listen, that's what Raina saw on the streets. And if he's going to shame me with his sign this month, we're going to talk about it. So I love hot coffee. Katie Storino shamed me for it. We've put that on Instagram.
It's insane.
I love I'm just going to drink hot coffee. That's what I'm going to do. And we go to brunch in Philly and I sit down. You were there with our friends. They're a couple, your friends. Sorry. They're more your friends.
They're more my friends.
They're more your friends. Blake and Aaron.
Yes.
And I was there like 5 minutes after you guys. So I sit down, I order coffee. Aaron was drinking a coffee and we're just having a nice little brunch. The server was a little weird. And listen, we understand restaurants are understaffed. People are stressed. People have bad days. Like we're always going to be sympathetic to that, of course. But it was weird. He was a little rude. He was weird. And he comes over at one point and he puts down 2 refills of coffee. I was like, just keep it coming, and so was Aaron. So he puts down 2 coffee cups. Like that was my 3rd cup at this point. So he put down my 3rd cup of coffee, her 2nd or 3rd cup of coffee. And he goes, so this one's the regular and this one's the decaf. And I shot up. I said, what? He says, is one of these decaf? Like I wasn't rude, but I was like, wait, is one of these is decaf? And he goes, I don't know.
At which point I turned my entire body just back from Ashley because I was like, I can't watch this happen.
I don't know. You should know. You took the order and you probably filled it.
Also, this was like our 4th really snarky, odd interaction with this guy. It wasn't like this guy was so nice and all of a sudden like a different person came out.
So it shook me up so much because a normal response from a good server would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. A, I made a mistake, or B, I misspoke. Not, I don't know. Figure it out.
I would just lie to you.
And I was like, it shook me up. I took a second and I was like, wait, I was like, hold on a second. Are you saying that I've been drinking decaf this whole time? And he was like, I don't know. Like I wrote it down and he like reaches around like he might pull out his notepad, but then doesn't. He acts like it's such a huge inconvenience. And we have this very awkward interaction in which he just gaslights me, doesn't answer me, and is basically like, well, have fun, bye. I was shocked.
It was amazing. Also, Ashley reacted like she was sober for 5 years and he had just put vodka in her cup and she didn't know it. It was so funny.
So we all lose it. Like your guy friend Blake, he was just like hysterical laughing. He was like, "This is the funniest shit I've ever seen." Like the guy's reaction was wild
he
all
acted
weekend.
like you were being annoying and you just like asked a question.
I know. So we get over it. We have our brunch, whatever. He does something else rude, shocker. And then at the end, he comes back over and he goes, "I'm sorry about that whole decaf scare." And I go, oh, so it was a scare? And he goes, "Who's to say?" And then he said, "I pour 40 cups of coffee a day." What? First of all, I was over it. Why'd you bring it up again? He said, "Sorry about the scare." I said, "Oh God, so it was a scare." I don't know. We're still unclear.
We pour 60 cups of coffee a day.
Then he got so snarky again. Like he kind of came over with an apology and then he turned on me again.
You just lie. Listen, bro, just lie. If you have accidentally served somebody caffeine, that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Like a person could have like a heart problem. But if it was accidentally decaf, just lie.
Yeah, I know.
We shamed you so hard. Also, nobody is nicer to wait staff than Ashley and I are. So like we couldn't be nicer. And this guy could not have shamed you harder.
It was such a shocking experience. I was like, this is insane. And then we go to brunch the next day on our way out on Sunday, and Blake and Aaron got there before you and I. We got there. We were like 5-10 minutes late. And I, of course, order coffee. And I say to the server, she's like this nice woman. I was like, "I want a hot coffee, regular, caffeinated." Like now I'm just kind of PTSD'd from it all. And she comes over 5 minutes later, brings the coffee, and she goes, "Ma'am, here's your decaf." And I go, "Oh." I like my mom. You
guys, there's a video of it. We'll put it on our story. It's amazing.
And it took me a second. And I just turned to our friends. I was like, "Did you do this?" And then the server starts laughing. And then she was so funny because she was like, "Girl, I didn't know how you were going to react. And I've got a hot coffee in my hands, you know?" Cause she was like, I really, it like shook me up. It's so, I love hot coffee. I don't understand. I mean, whatever. If you need to drink decaf for some reason, I'm not shaming you, but I would never in my life order a decaf coffee. I told you the story of an ex of mine, how it was our first date and we were eating at a place that was kind of like grab and go. And he was like, "Do you want me to go in and refill your coffee?" We were sitting on the patio and he was like, "Do you want me to go inside and get you a coffee refill?" And I was like, "Sure, it's nice." First date and lunch date. And I told you the story, I think before, and he comes out and he goes, "They only had decaf." And he saw my face and he goes, "I knew you were going to overreact." He said, "I knew you were going to overreact." First date. And I was like, "Well, you know me pretty well. I guess we're going to date." And we did.
That is so funny.
Like I go, like my face will just change.
I knew you were going to overreact. That is so funny. Cause I would know you would overreact.
Yeah.
We've been together for 4 years.
Right. So it's just, I mean, it's such a violation.
It's just the way he acted was so funny. I also asked if we could order and he looks at me like the flesh was going to melt off his face. He was like, "I was coming here to do that." I was like, guys, I was a waitress my whole life. So like, I know how to like be nice to people even when they're annoying.
I was coming over here to do that.
I was coming over here to do that could sound nice in other contexts. This one is I was coming over here to do that. Well, I don't know. I've been here for 45 minutes trying to get you to take my order. I don't know that that's what you're coming here for.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to come shit all over my friend again.
And then apparently I'm in mainlining decaf. Who's to say?
Now every time Ashley asks me anything, I'm like, who's to say?
Well, and then Blake and Aaron were driving back. They had to drive back to Pittsburgh, like from Philly. And she was like, "If he says who's to say one more time."
I was like, Willie, who's to say?
So anyway, never give me decaf. We should do like no decaf merch.
That's our new merch. No decaf. Okay, guys, we are so excited to welcome our guest for today. She's a writer, actress, and comedian who you can see in New York City. She is the host of the podcast Feehan and the star of the animated series on YouTube, Kerryn Sucks, and a star on OnlyFans, which we're going to talk about today. She makes me feel like the laziest person on earth. Please welcome to the show, Kerryn Feehan.
Hi.
Aaron just said she was lazy.
Yeah.
She did. We're going to get every time I read people's credits up top, and it's like, she does 75 different things. I'm like, I just do the podcast.
The podcast is huge though, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Follow me everywhere.
Kerryn Sucks.
Yeah.
But it's animated?
Yeah, it's I had this kid, I had like a bit that I wanted to animate. I have a joke where I say, I think we can stop saying we're in this together. Like the next time I hear that, it better be from the two dudes DPing me. And I have like a longer version. I was like, can somebody animate this, you know, so I can have like an interracial DP just at a whim, so I can just watch it when I want. And I liked how he did it, and we just started working together.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and
I
like
want to see what your little cartoon looks like.
Yeah, it's dark. It's like animated really like lots of grays and like dark colors, but the music is cool. There's a lot of great voices. Jim Norton's in it, Bonnie McFarlane, Rich Voss.
Oh, wow.
Derek Gaines plays a guy named Carlos who takes his penis out.
I love this.
A cartoon penis.
Yeah.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, check it out. We're going to plug where you can find her on everywhere, also at the end of the episode as well.
You're dark.
This is so
in
profesh.
general.
I love it. I know. That's why I connect with Azul so much. I'm like, hello, spirit. Let's talk about the underworld.
Like her comedy is just, it's so funny. It's so dark. It's so fucked up. But you're like a really sweet person on the inside.
I am. I like paid for this dog's vet visit like a couple weeks ago. I guess it's not that big of a deal if you keep bragging about it. But
I did it for the recognition.
Oh, it wasn't your dog. It was just a random dog. Also, it'd be weird to refer to your own dog as this dog. I paid for this dog's visit.
no, it was like this family. I could tell they were like really poor, and this pit bull was so dying. He was like 12 and probably had stomach cancer. And the vet was like, it'll be $600 for an ultrasound. And I could just look at them. I was like, oh my God, I know that they're not going to do that. And then, I mean, the vet said it looks like cancer, it smells like cancer. And I'm like, like, yikes, like kind of harsh way to put that.
Yeah.
But I just paid for the visit. I was like, at least maybe he can have some steak for his last meal, because I know they're not coughing up anymore.
That's so nice, Kerryn.
I am good, but yeah, my comedy is pretty dark.
Well, those are the best people, though, who have dark sense of humors and kind souls.
Well, we want to talk to you about OnlyFans today.
Yeah.
What OnlyFans is, how much money you can make, what content is great, can you be anonymous, what are the followers like, and can you have a boyfriend while you have an OnlyFans?
Well, let's start there. You mentioned a boyfriend. So you're a single woman in the city.
Yes. I guess we can go back because it is like it's an emotional thing. I did like basically lose the love of my life because of OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I was madly in love with him. I mean, probably not like fundamentally thinking about it, but like
It was the catalyst.
it was really emotional. It was really sad. Like we tried to stay together a lot. I stopped doing it. Like when I first started doing it, I was writing at Paramount Network, and they laid off like 85% of their freelancers. And I was like, okay, bye. There goes that money. And then pandemic's like, bye. There goes stand up. And people had always kind of been like, you should do an OnlyFans. You should do an OnlyFans. Because I'll like post pictures of my ass on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, I just like watch regular porn and live my life. Mm-hmm. And then people just kept kind of was like in my ear. I'm like, whatever, let's just like see what happens. Let's just make a profile, throw some titties up, because I could give a shit who sees my tits, and see what happens. And it was like fucking followers, money. I was like, this is great. And I was still at Paramount Network when I very first started it.
Okay.
But me and my ex now boyfriend had broken up. So I never like did it while we were together. Like I was a single girl when I started doing it. And when he wanted to get back together, I was like, he was uncomfortable with it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll stop. I'll just, make money other ways and, stop being rich for you. Isn't that huge? Like, I'm sorry. Nobody's ever given up. Like, because it depends on how hard I try, but it has the potential to make between like 50 and 60 grand a month.
Yes.
I've done that.
Let's
no
like
problem.
all just like take that in. Like that's a ton of money.
We got tons of questions about money, so we definitely want to talk about it.
Like if I were to post content like every day or like get after it, like do like wilder stuff than I do, because my stuff's pretty tame. My biggest complaints are like, where's the close-ups, anal, like how come there's nobody in this? Because it's just me. It's just like me, striptease, very light masturbation, if you want to call it that. If I have like a vibrator out, you can barely even see my vagina because it's covered by the vibrator. Men, don't listen to this.
Yeah.
My dumb
Sign up though. Yeah.
My dumb followers. So it has the potential to make that. When I just let it ride, it still makes like 20 grand a month when I work like,
Oh my God,
like
Kerryn.
1 day a week or whatever.
One post a week.
Yeah.
For how many minutes?
6. Well, it's like a 3-minute video. I mean, I get ready. I like doing it post workout. Like I feel like I put in
Yeah.
effort. Like I see my lifestyle as like the effort behind the content. Does that make any sense?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, you work out, you
right.
you look great, your body's great.
Yeah, that's when we
Any
talk-
body type is fine for anything, but you clearly
This is-
work on your body.
Right.
I mean, that's what we talked about with Asa Akira. Like, we had this funny moment with her where she was like, it's just so much work, hair and makeup and working out. Like, she was like, it is part of the job.
Yeah. But what a fun job. Like, what a rewarding way to live. Like, oh, my job's just like taking care of myself.
I have a question about your journey onto OnlyFans. So you were like, I just threw it up and it exploded. So people asked a lot when we asked, what do you want to know about OnlyFans? Like, how do you promote this? Did you put it on your Instagram?
I put it on my Instagram. I actually, not at first. I first put it on Twitter.
Okay.
I have a good following on Twitter, and I was like, and I just put the link up. I didn't say anything. I didn't make a big announcement.
Really?
That's the other thing with me. I don't lead with it because in my entity of living, I see it as like 10% of my life, like of that. You know, I'm just like doing so much other stuff that I don't lead with it. I don't post about it every day at all. Like if my subs dip a little bit, maybe I'll throw a link up just like to get the numbers where I want them. I have goals every month, like what I want to hit.
I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't pause for one second and explain what OnlyFans is.
Right.
I know we dove right in. And also I want to back up and just, you know, it's not that easy for everybody. Like you have a following, like that's the same with us. We didn't start this podcast with, we both had following. So things like that. Like I always like to be realistic about people's expectations. Also, can you just say was it like the beginning of the pandemic? Like March?
Yeah. During the pandemic.
During the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which was like probably prime time.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. What a great time to start. I mean, there was an uptick of 75% of like women joined OnlyFans, or some, that number got thrown around. I was like, what? It was a ton of, and your average, like everyday women were just like starting OnlyFans accounts, probably to supplement their incomes in whatever way they can.
Right. There's a documentary about OnlyFans if you guys want to watch it, but it had been around for a minute before the pandemic and then it exploded.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Can you just give us a brief overview?
It can be anything, right? Like if you are a sculptor and you want, you know, people to watch you making clay pots, you can start an OnlyFans. Nothing's stopping you. I'm not stopping you.
It's a platform. It looks kind of like Instagram, but it lends itself to pornography.
Subscription platform. Like
subscription platform. Most people use it for sex stuff.
Right.
It can, you know, get really wild. I know there's another girl, she follows me. Her name's Kenna. And like, she does more just like studio photo shoots and has like subscription base and does, a lot of girls do like sales and like bundles and you can get a month for this, like a month for that.
It's all video, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's photos.
Photos, yeah.
There are photos? Okay. Yeah. So photos and videos sort of looks like Instagram. It's a subscription platform. People usually use it for pornographic reasons.
Yeah.
Like is the main model, it's a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
But then private stuff, right?
Right.
But like, and we want to talk about, because you told me you make most of your money there, right? But then to get even a private video or message or whatever from you, you have to subscribe to you monthly.
Correct.
Got it.
Okay. And do you set the prices?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you set the prices for both the subscription and the private stuff.
So fun.
That's so fun.
What do they look like? What's normal? What's average?
My prices,
if you want to share, or just
anybody's.
my monthly is $25 a month.
Okay, that is a lot of money. Like that's more than anything that we pay for.
Okay,
like,
but
more
hear
than
me
Netflix.
out.
No, I'm not saying it's bad.
No, I just hear me out. If I'm very specific about the type of porn I want to watch, the type of bodies that like make me feel horny, and so if I find a body that makes me feel horny, I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
For sure. You know? Like it's people. Yeah, I love to hear
it. It's again back to your point of like being realistic. Like somebody like me, like I used to run a burlesque show. Like I've been talking about my pussy on radio for years. Like I've like built up a following of people who want to see me naked. Like it's just my Instagram following is 89% men, 11% women.
Kerryn, mine is 93% women. Mine's 7% men.
Girls, I'm fun.
We're
the girls.
Exact opposite. That's crazy.
I'm 75% women.
I'm 93% women. No men want to see me.
This is great.
Can you imagine my OnlyFans? They're like, we don't want it.
I'm telling you guys would,
it's just called no fans.
Yeah. Or my feet. They do want to see some guys.
You guys would crush. Are you kidding me? You don't really. You would. You would absolutely murder.
Somebody the other day was like, "What do your DMs look like? Do you guys get like creepy messages?" We were both like, "We don't have any men that follow us."
Yeah,
they're out there.
But I love what you said. Like we feel like that about our career too. Like everything I did up to this point was like building up to this thing. You know, I like it wasn't just like one day I was like, I should start a podcast. Like I done stand up, I'd done radio, TV, I'd been like, you know, all that kind of culminated into this one thing. It wasn't like out of the blue that you would have done this.
And also launched it with a following. I mean, you have people want to see famous people naked.
Yes.
So you have.
I'm not famous by any stretch of the imagination, but like, I think I definitely had exposed myself to the right fans. Like, you know, I'm on Legion of Skanks. I do Jim and Sam. I do Jim Norton's podcast. So like, their fans, those fucking love them to death, you glorious incels, keep paying. Oh, this is just the girls listening to this podcast, right? I can talk all the
how your
shit I
boyfriends?
want.
Oh, 100%.
So did you, in terms of like a marketing plan, did you like test out different prices, or were you like 25, that's it? Or did you raise your prices as you went?
I started at 25. I left it there. You know, I'm like, that's how much people would pay to see me do stand up. I was like, I should have doubled it. You know, I'm
and what do you charge for the private stuff?
Like it depends on what it is.
So yeah, let's talk about what they can do.
If I'm making like a vibrator video, that's like a 3 to 4 minute video, it's going to be like $75.
And then you, again, we are not on the platform. I'm not familiar with it. You will just like
send that out to everybody. It's like
but
a
do they
boutique.
feel like it's private to them?
Sure. Like the other thing is, I think that what guys like about mine, it's a very much like the boyfriend experience. It's like a video that you would send your boyfriend if he was out of town.
Okay.
You know,
because it's not so graphic. Is that what you're saying? It's not. I like this angle.
I'm
That's
like
interesting.
no penetration hardly ever.
And you come on the video?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I love that term boyfriend content because it's not like the most explicit, filthy stuff. I mean, you could do whatever you want, but like you kind of leave people wanting a little more.
Yeah. I think that's why mine's been working. And like, again, like some complaints, like guys are like, this is expensive. I'm like, you might think it's expensive, but like Drew has some offshore accounts and he's buying all the fucking videos. So,
well, right. Like then don't buy it.
Don't buy it. No, this is like boutique. People are like, do you do customs? And I get asked a lot for customs.
We want to talk about this. Yeah.
And I don't do customs. They're buying tickets to this show. If you want a different show, go to a different show.
So to explain that, you do this 3 or 4 minute video and you push it out to all these people privately. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't live on your feed. No. Like your feed is, said you don't put a lot in your feed, right?
I'll pull a clip from the video. Okay. And I'll be like, do you want to see the extended cut? And I'll do like 3 X's.
And then it'll be $75 for that.
Yeah.
And then custom stuff like is for a one specific, because you said 75. I was like, that's not that much. You're sending that out to a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, right. And I've had leaks. There was a video on Pornhub. There's a Reddit thread. I think that there's like a video that's leaked. Louis J. Gomez, bless his heart. I did his podcast and he's like, why don't these guys just rip your shit and fucking post it? I was like, die in a fire. I hate you so much.
Can you screen record the content?
You're not supposed to. And like OnlyFans does have a lot of like legal stuff in place.
Okay.
A lot of copyright stuff. So if you want to get, like when I did want them taken down, it took 2 seconds.
Okay. Well, okay. So
people asked us that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like screen record, you can screen record anything. I remember when I was on Raya, they could tell when you screenshot it. Well,
you would get in trouble.
So do they do that on OnlyFans?
2 times.
They do that on OnlyFans? Can you screenshot the content?
Probably.
Oh, there's no like pop up that says you're in trouble.
Probably.
Yeah. I got in trouble on Riot every day.
You did?
I would like, who did I see on there? This is probably, I can't say this.
James Franco?
No, we talked about whether Justin Long, like day one.
Oh yeah, we talked about
I screenshotted. They were like, you're in trouble. And then I saw like some comedian, Hannibal
Buress.
Yeah. I was like, you're in trouble again.
He broke the whole Cosby thing. So, screenshot
I'm a fan of Hannibal.
Who isn't?
Yeah. You're in trouble
this is so interesting, and I didn't know there was like different levels. Can you do like you tiered per subscriptions, or it's just like the feed, the private stuff?
That's probably that's a good idea. I'm just lazy.
Well, I don't know if you could. I didn't know if it was like Patreon where you're like, here's where you get full, coming or videos.
What I see girls doing, and this is the funny thing, is like girls that blow me out of the water physically. Like I'm talking like 18-year-old, like pristine nubile models will be like 5 months for $3.99. I'm like, what are you doing? What's happening? But it's because they don't have any type of following at all. So they're basically just kind of throwing it to the wind.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the content. I mean, I like your like tip of like the girlfriend content. Do you feel like that's what performs the best, or do you have an idea of like what kind of content performs best for everybody?
I think you should do something that you like doing, like that, like you're looking forward to doing, that is fun, you feel good about. I think a lot of times I'll play music too, and I think that helps with them not being able to rip them too, because I think if the song is on there, they'll get in trouble. Do whatever you want. If you're a freak, be a freak.
Yeah.
Do people
butthole stuff? People love butthole.
But you're not into butthole.
I'll show my butthole. Do you guys want to see it?
I know. All I can do is I'm going to see you naked before you go.
Well, did you
for
do?
sure.
I think I was asking you about when we were chatting at the stand about like your feed, and you were like, I think there's like, is there one? You said there's like one thing of you like picking up a kettlebell and your like butthole.
Yeah,
but your feed's not. You don't put a lot in your feed, right?
Not a ton. I mean, there's a say I'm doing one video a week, like you're getting one clip a week from that video,
right?
Enough to keep people like. So that's how much
Worth
content you post for the $25 is one clip per week. So 4 clips for $25, and then this it's probably like whatever you want, but like how graphic does OnlyFans get? Like, is there couples that are like having butt sex?
You guys, if you want to.
Is it full porn?
Yeah, if you want to, you could interview Lindsay Jennings. And I don't think she would mind me mentioning this because it is out there. She, like, her OnlyFans is like very public. But she does full on like sex and stuff.
So and you can.
Yes.
It's triple X, like triple X. Like I know what double that. Like I know what that means.
It's X-rated.
It's triple X. I said that was such a boomer. Like I know what that is.
Is that a wrestler?
Triple X. What's 1 and 2 X?
I know. I was like, we're talking about the size of my last boyfriend.
Well, girlfriend videos seem like 1X.
Yeah.
2 is like implied penetration. 3 is like buttholes out with penetrating a butthole.
Right.
So can you like have like?
I don't even have regular butthole.
But is there? I guess the question is, are there any
be?
restrictions?
No, yeah.
That's the So no. So it's because it has as many X's as you want.
Quadruple X.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look at like Bad Baby. I think made like a crazy amount of money when she started.
Turned 18 and she made like $1 million in a day.
There's a
Catch Me Outside girl.
Bella Thorne was like this whole controversy.
Like, but then there's guys. And then there's guys too. Who's the rapper who has one? Tyga.
Mm-hmm. Get out of here.
Tyga
broke up with Kylie and started an OnlyFans.
I feel like it's a little greedy when like straight up celebs do it.
Well, that was the whole thing Bella Thorne where people were like creators were saying it's like not fair that she's doing this as like a quote unquote like experiment.
Right.
Because they could have been giving money to me.
And I know strippers, like my friend Dottie had like an OnlyFans like before the pandemic was even around, but she just didn't have much of a following. So I'd be like, give me your link. Like I'll post about you. Your stuff is so much more interesting than mine. There's mood lighting. Like she has like better costume changes.
Mm-hmm. Do you have costume changes?
Not really.
Do you start with clothing on and then take it off a little bit?
Sometimes I'll be like feeling really French. I have this one video. I play like Edith Piaf in the background. And I have like a French raincoat, like a beret on.
I love that. Croissant.
I just eat.
You set
it covered in like buttery flakes.
There's probably like a whole genre for that. Like just like hot girls eating.
Yeah. Buttery flakes on their pussies.
Yeah. Come lick it off.
What's your number one performing video? Can you see that, by the way? Can you see like how many views you get?
No, not really. Oh, you can say by like the likes.
And so it feels like Instagram, the experience.
Yeah.
And then everybody's anonymous, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Your followers are anonymous.
Right.
Do you feel like it's going to be pretty difficult now to get in there and start making money? Like, do you feel like the moment has passed a little bit for your average person?
I mean, I don't know. It's just, you kind of can't escape the novelty factor. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not just like that, like, you know, it's like the fact that like I'm a comedian who's like getting naked. So if you're like a regular person, I don't know if the cons outweigh the pros being the money. Right. The cons being whatever type of like social judgment you're going to experience from whatever career you have or lifestyle you have. Like there was a woman whose sons were expelled from school because she had an OnlyFans, which is like, it was a Catholic school. Like they got out without getting molested. You know, it's like better for them anyway.
But people did ask a lot about Anna.
It happened for a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
People asked a lot about anonymity. Can I have one that's anonymous? And like, I don't know how you would market it, but I guess you could keep your face out of it, right?
Right. And if that brings you joy, then go for it. And you could probably find some people out there that want to, I mean, think of all the shit that's on Pornhub, you know, like just surfing. There's a multitude of videos of guys just like fucking those fake torsos. Have you seen those? I was in a black hole the other day. I couldn't come. My doctor videos were not working. Next thing you know, I'm like they just like fuck torso, like these like pocket
cadavers.
Pussies. Yeah, but it's full, but no head, no arm, no.
Oh man!
And he's like, yeah, you like that? I'm like,
oh no! Oh my god!
What category is
Did
that?
you come?
No,
Cadaver?
I was like, get me out of here.
Okay,
I quit.
What are your doctor videos?
I love an exam video.
I role played an exam the other day. It was amazing.
What? So hot.
Kate and I role played an exam.
A doctor exam.
Yes.
What kind of doctor was he? Dermatologist. He was checking your moles.
was a dentist.
Or gyno.
It was a gyno exam. He was like fingering me. I was like,
Yeah. Oh, really?
He's like, does this hurt? Does this hurt?
He pulled the clamps out. You're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. A lot of them, some of them are too clinical, like the porn videos. Like I can like get there if I'm in like a really weird mood. But I like it when like the doctor does eventually just like trick the patient into letting him fuck her.
I know. I was like, maybe I'd feel better if you use your dick instead of your hand.
Yeah.
He was like, that's not professional.
Oh, he really got so good. That's so good. You're
Karen's
so
turned
lucky. I'm so turned on. Because I would like ask my guy to like do like stuff like that too, like my ex, and it would just take so much coaxing.
You know how I will say that I let him into it? Like, we'll just fuck around sometimes. Like we're just joking around and it leads to the role playing. And also like we were already in bed. It was in the morning. We were just joking around about something. And I wasn't like get up and put a doctor coat on. You know,
love
like
it.
we just sort of like
great.
joke around a lot. It just led to that. And it was
It's like a stethoscope.
Great. I would like try to make stuff happen like that. Like, you know, there's like the girl gets stuck, like her hand will get like stuck in the pool table. Or
that
like,
is a
like,
huge porn category.
huge.
What is?
Girls are stuck.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like,
would
she
stick
gets
myself
stuck.
all around my ex's apartment. I'd be like,
You get stuck under a chair and like can't get out. Dylan told me about
And then
this.
they come and get you out?
no, they come and
pull your
fuck you.
they pull your pants
While
down
you're
and fuck you
stuck in the
out.
chair?
Yeah. It's a big theme in stepmom porn. You
Yes, because the stepmom's always cleaning.
Wait, what?
Stepmom is always cleaning, and she always like goes under the chair to like clean the chair, and she gets stuck between the legs.
And then you
of the
get fucked
chair.
while you're stuck?
And then like the naughty stepson is like, I want to pull you, like, yeah, only if I can like pull your leggings down. And she's like, if your father finds out about this, and he like
So
fucks
good.
her out of the chair.
Oh my God.
good.
I got to look into that.
I
I'm stuck. Now I want to get fucked. Is that like a whole thing?
I guess I don't like traditional porn. Like I don't want the people to be ready for it and gonna fuck each other and both be into it from the jump. I like somebody being tricked.
That's a very female thing, like the way the way that the male mind works and the female mind. So like women like like story porn more than men do. Like I used to like read porn more than I would watch porn. Like women like a whole ambiance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We need
I
to
mean,
avoid
even
that.
men.
Yeah.
And I like the thought. I mean, I think it's any sort of non-consensual situation is like disgusting. We denounce it where that goes without saying. But I do like the idea of like a massage or a doctor's visit, like
Right.
turning into you getting
Inappropriate.
fucked.
Okay, there's a porn category for that too. It's called new room massage.
Wait, I think I've seen
Yeah.
And it's exactly this. It's like the woman like takes her top off and she like massages you with her titty.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to get on this stuck stuff. I'm so into this. Like all I can picture is being stuck under that chair. And I'm like, help me.
That's exactly what it's like, except for you can't fuck on that chair. It's a higher backed chair.
Yeah.
What would I get?
Like you go under the chair to like clean and then your butt gets stuck. You're always cleaning. Stepmom's always cleaning and the stepson fucks her out of the chair.
I would be like, I'm seeing the dishwasher at my ex's place. I'm like, oh, I'm stuck. And he'd like come move my arm. He's like, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Your arm gets stuck in the disposal.
no.
That's for like serious fans only.
Okay. Can we go back to your ex and the breakup?
Yeah.
Like, so
His mom found my OnlyFans.
So did you started it when you guys were what? Like you were off and on and you were off? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So then
we broke up. We were together for like a year and a half. I was so in love with him. I'm still in love with him. I think about him every day. Like
Kerryn.
just us, like being a couple, like just us together, take all the other factors out. We're so in love.
Oh, that's the
I
craziest.
feel like I'm gonna cry.
It's a hard feeling. If
I know,
that,
it's
it's that
sad.
song. If the world was ending.
Yeah.
Raina.
I'm sorry. I think about that a
Like
lot.
corny as
No,
Okay,
Raina
but-
said that. Well, you want to tell the story?
Well, I talk about we were talking about relationships in general that can exist in a box, right?
Yes.
So like without the outside world, without your job and OnlyFans and your family,
Yes.
like in a room, if it's just the two of you, it's perfect. And I
Perfect.
said I was dating somebody that sort of felt like that. Well, I mean, listen, in retrospect, it wasn't. But I said that like, you know, I thought about him when I heard that song and you know, if
Yeah.
the world was ending and you'd come over, right? And the feeling of like, but the world isn't ending. We do have to go back out into the world and our relationship does have to exist in the world. Anyways, a writer from Cosmo.
Hold on. You said you like basically sat alone one night and played it on repeat and like drank and got sad and cried. And then Cosmo wrote an article about it.
Raina Greenberg, host of the popular podcast Girls Gotta Eat, said she listened to this and thought about her
No
ex.
way.
It was a whole ass article.
And then we got a pitch from JP Sachs who sings the song. They were like,
sings the song.
would you like to have him on the podcast? We're like, oh. It wasn't that deep. But
I forgot he pitched us. That's so funny.
no shade to him. We were like, what did we talk to him about?
That's how we feel about a lot of people. We're like, yeah, I mean, you could be famous. I don't know what we would talk to you about.
Right.
Yeah,
Sure,
but
he's
we
great.
love him as an artist. No shit. So you're still in love with your ex. So I just need timeline. I need details.
Yeah.
Like the story is intriguing to me that you feel like the OnlyFans was the reason why it didn't work out. So you started the OnlyFans, it started to get popular, and then he had a problem with it, and you got back together, or
Sort of. We broke up because I was like really busy. Like I was writing at Paramount during the day, and then I had shows almost every night. And like I don't want to talk too much shit about him, but like we were just very different.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like a job since I was 14. I've been paying rent since I was 18, 19. It's because I got kicked out of 2 dorms, but still, like I like just always
worked,
always paid my own rent. He didn't. He was fortunate enough for his, parents to buy him an apartment that he lived in and didn't pay rent. So just like there from the jump is like a difference of like fundamentals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way we see money, the way we interact with money, the way you think things are just provided for you. Like if you can just like run away to like a vineyard in Portugal that your parents own, like I don't have that. So when the OnlyFans thing started, he said very cruel things. Like anything you think like a guy would say that was mean. And we broke up because of like other stuff. Like then he like was like partying. I think he was like jealous a little bit. He's like, you always do your own thing. And I'm like, I'm working. I'm like, I know it seems like fine when you do stand up, it seems like fun and all of my friends are fun. And it seems like I'm just hanging out with my friends every night, but I'm getting paid.
This is my career.
Literally working.
yeah.
He said to me before, he's like, you do nothing for a living. He said so many things that like got me. And I'm like, but like from somebody whose mom bought them an apartment.
Right. It's like, this is crazy. It's a crazy thing for you to say to me.
Yeah.
Like it should be the opposite actually, but here we are.
And money is such a real thing. We've done a lot of episodes on it, but like, when you operate from like a scarcity standpoint and you're like, I always need to work. I need to hustle. I'm in the entertainment industry. If I don't do something today, someone else will do it, you know? And he operates from just a different, point of the world.
Yeah.
You had started it and then he was like, I'm not okay with this if we're going to be together.
Yeah. He's like, I can't handle it. And I'm like, all right, done. Deleted it.
You did?
Deleted it. Like, and for 3 months, it was like, we had, like you were saying, like a relationship in a box. We had wonderful times. Like he had a dog, I had a dog. Like we just, every moment with him was just, I was so in love with him. Mm-hmm. Sex was amazing. He was so hot. Fucking hot.
Yeah.
We had a great time. We really were just like best friends. But then I still felt like I was being punished. There was a lot of things he would say to me. He's like, everybody in my life that I love tells me to run away from you, tells me to get away from you. Then his mom found my OnlyFans. I'd also never dated somebody who was so governed, whose like psyche and behavior was so governed by his parents and his friends that like you couldn't penetrate it. That it was just like, I don't know what to do with this.
It sounds like he has some stuff to work on.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and I get, the other thing is like, I'm not gonna act like I don't get it. Like I get it. Like I understood, I empathize. I'm like, you don't like it, you're uncomfortable. He said it was like mental torture. I'm like, all right, so we'll stop doing it. So then there's months of money going by, like in my brain. I'm like, no.
Did he say like, don't worry about it, like I'll get the bills? But I'm serious. Like, did you talk about that? You don't have to if you don't want to. But
yeah, I mean, I was like very point blank with him about like how much I was making and how happy it was making me, and I wanted to move, and I'm happy to spend all this money. Like I took us to the Hamptons. I would take us on staycations. He had no problem when I was spending the money.
Right.
Again, our relationship with money was just so different. Mm-hmm. So he just has a car and has an apartment. He doesn't have to work and then use the money that you earn from working to pay for those things.
Did you
find
had
like an allowance too?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Very different.
Was there an acknowledgement of that at least? I mean, he acknowledged that we're different.
Listen, in the middle of a fight, I'm sure I said some awful, hurtful things to him because also he didn't choose any of that. You know, it's not a choice.
I know we're talking about OnlyFans here today, but I can't really shake the whole like my friends and family don't approve of you type of thing. That's like
it's so
emotionally
weird, right?
abusive to say. Like that's like you're lucky I'm dating you because my inner circle doesn't want me to. It's like either don't date me or never say that shit to me again.
Right.
Like that's a crazy thing. Like the underlying theme is you're lucky I'm even with you because everybody doesn't want me to be. And like it makes you just then you're supposed to feel like indebted to them because they're slumming it with you. It's crazy.
Exactly. And to me, I just didn't understand that because my family loves me no matter what. I don't know what to say. I date Louis J. Gomez. I don't know if you've seen him. He's a tatted up Puerto Rican. And my dad's like, this guy's great.
Yeah.
It's a great guy. I love this guy. You know what I mean? Like black, white, like so many different people. It literally doesn't matter. The guy could have no arms. You love him? We love you.
My parents too. I have a tattoo on my arm for my dad that says, "Are you happy?" So I mean, that's how my parents operate.
Yeah.
With him, was it like his mom found out about the OnlyFans and then had a problem with you?
Snoop-a-loop went digging. I mean,
and she like found a reason to hate you.
Yeah, it's such like a creepy instinct for me too. Like
to look for a reason.
It's so creepy.
We want to do an episode about like mama's boys and like those type of people because like it's
just get Jared Schwartz on.
I can't even like it's just my parents would be like, but they're making so much money. Good for them.
My mom, listen, I was brought up Catholic. I'm not going to act like there's no element of shame in the world and the environment. I feel like I'm lucky. I don't feel a lot of it. I decide not to feel shame. You know, I decide to just like myself.
Well, there's no shame in it. Like our parents watch us talk about cum on stage and they're like, look at them making people laugh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. My mom doesn't care. My mom like stayed in my apartment, my like new place by Battery Park. My building is a pool. She's like, I don't give a shit what you're doing. She's
love
like,
that.
This is great. This is so fun.
I love that this is not the topic today, but just like the Catholic shame in general. Like, I love that you're like, well, I just decided.
Yeah.
I could just, I mean, that's not so easy for everyone. You know, it just, some people can't.
For sure.
It's not that easy.
Yeah.
I love that you were like, it's a decision.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it
Because what are the
dominate me.
choices?
Right.
The other decision is to hate yourself and feel awful and like feed into all the negative thoughts, or just don't. Just like live and be happy.
I totally agree. And it is the topic because people said, what does your family think about it? And I think in general, like when you approach things with your family as a definitive fact rather than asking for permission, it just sets the tone differently. Like I'd never said to my family, neither did Ashley, like, how do you feel about us talking about our relationships, our dating life? I mean, of course, we're respectful to people, but I never asked my parents, do you mind me talking about cum in public?
No.
Like, I just said, this is what I'm doing. And
You're
my
an
parents
adult.
are like, you're an
Well, we're
adult.
adult,
You do what you want.
Right.
Like, so I think it probably is different when you're 18, but at least for you, you're an adult. It's not up for discussion.
Yeah. At this point, and I hear a lot of girls say this, like, I would have an OnlyFans, but I love my dad.
Shut up.
And it makes me like, well, be like, what does your dad have to do with that? I was like, I don't know. My dad doesn't know anything really about my sex life. My dad's a bartender on a ferry in Nantucket, and he's living the dream.
Yeah.
Fucking fishes. He has some grandkids. My vagina, my sex life, all that stuff is so far from how he sees me, how we interact.
Thank you.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
Right, boundaries. He's not looking at your OnlyFans.
Like my dad doesn't listen to this show.
Yeah.
You know, like he makes his own boundaries. We make them
Right.
together. Like I didn't do a bit at the show in Philly because he was there. I did it at the other two.
There you go.
I felt like it was a little too far. It was a little too graphic.
My mom was like, she didn't even clean it up for us. I'm like, yes, I fucking did.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny.
My parents were like, that was so dirty. I'm like, that was the edited version.
You got the PG.
It has nothing to do with your dad. Like, we're adults here.
we're
Your dad had
adults.
sex, by the
Right.
way.
Right.
Your dad looks at porn, by the way. Like,
if you want to be honest, like somebody who's like confident and explorative about their sexuality has probably been parented well. They've probably been like, you know, made to feel like they have self-worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in a weird way. And like so many people would say the exact opposite.
but then I guess I can kind of be sympathetic to people who like literally their parents would like disown them and just shame them. So it's, you know, we are
I feel
lucky.
bad for them.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. I want to acknowledge that. People are like, not everyone has parents that are
Right.
would be cool with it. So
Right.
And you hide it from them. Or you decide you don't have a family anymore. Whatever, guys. For $50,000 a month, I'd have no dad. Whatever. By the way, I love what you said about having telling other people to set their own boundaries. My brother's the same way. He doesn't listen to the podcast. He just doesn't. It's fine. Like he doesn't. Also, Ashley and I are. We don't have OnlyFans accounts, but my family doesn't necessarily listen to every episode, and that's fine. They're adults; they'll set their own boundaries. But yes, I do feel very lucky that
like
they're fine
my
with
brother is like my brother wants to support me and he'll come to the shows. It feels different when it's on a stage versus like in your earbuds.
For sure.
But like if I'm like I want him to listen to this thing on the podcast that was about him or whatever, I'll give him the timestamp and he'll go in there and he's not tempted to listen to the rest. He doesn't want to hear it.
Right.
Like that's
It's why, it's people that seek it out. It's not like, I'm thinking specifically about my ex's mom.
Yes.
But it is a very unhealthy, like overstepping boundaries in a very, in my opinion, like borderline abusive way.
Yes,
like
and-
he's 32. But at the same time, if that financial umbilical cord is still there, it's too hard. It's so hard. I mean, like, and that's on him too. Like at some point you have
You're
to be
right.
like, you're not allowed to invade my privacy, Mom. But if I'm your mom, like, yes, I am. I pay for everything.
Right. Because if a parent said to me, like, you can't do OnlyFans, I'd be like, do you want to give me the $40K a month?
Let's go.
But like, if the parent actually is giving you the $40K a month, they do feel more inclined to like, they feel more responsibility over your bank account.
I've been paying my parents' phone bill for probably like a year and a half, like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
My dad's like, how's she doing that? Talking to my mom. She's like, never you mind.
Well, we say that with weddings where they're like, my parents are trying to plan everything for the wedding. It's like, are they paying for it?
Then
they can.
Yes, they
Then
can.
it's their day too.
You want to plan your wedding? You should pay for it. No. I love that takeaway. So eventually, were you like, I'm starting to back up and deal with it? Or what did you?
The thing is, I stopped it, right? And I was trying to have these conversations where I was like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. Hopefully our relationship will move forward. But the opposite happened. I felt like I was being punished a lot. I wasn't invited anywhere. And it's weird. He's like, you know, he's got these like boring ass friends. And I'm like, I'll go. Like, I want to be part of your world or whatever. I'll do it. I went to like an escape room one time. Like, thank you so much. It was so hard.
So my boyfriend loves escape rooms. I'm like, I'm sorry. We're not going to share that. Yeah, he loves it. I'm like, we'll never share this.
I did one. And like, you know, like I felt like I was like putting forth effort in like, you know, ways.
Of course. But I mean, your partner ultimately has to be on your team. Like you can't control people's old ass parents, but they are supposed to stick up for you. So if you felt like he was shaming you too, I mean, I know I sympathize with you, like still being in love with them, but I'm also just like, it sounds like it wasn't like the right.
I think it's wrong. It's like one of those like sad things where like his friends would also listen to me on podcasts and like tell him things that I said. Like he was actually, I thought, pretty good about not listening to stuff. Although one time I caught him like listening to a Legion of Skanks episode and I was like, why are you listening to this? I'm not even on this.
I mean, it sounds like you like identified what the problems were and he wasn't willing to fix some of them. I know there's two sides to every story, but like it's sort of doomed if they're never going to like mitigate the relationship with their parents and you. Right. Because like, how do you move forward?
Yeah. Impossible. So then I was like, yeah. And then my bank account was dwindling. I mean,
on top of all of
life
it.
Is real. Like I'm still paying rent, you know, like I don't know. So then we kicked it back up. And then when we broke up and I started it again, I was mad at him. So I made a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was like revenge porn, but just me making it.
Okay. So you broke up and you were like, I'm firing it back up, obviously.
Yeah. And then we would still sleep together. We would hook up. And then like, as of like 2 months ago, he got strep throat and I went and I took care of him. I walked his maniac of a dog, half husky, half German shepherd.
Oh gosh.
While he was dying for like a week, I took care of everything, the house. So I got him his prescriptions. I had my dog too. I was still doing all my shit. And like the last night he was like finally getting better. I had this pain in my side. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this hurts. This hurts so much. Feels so weird. The next day I did a video conference with a doctor. I'm like, I don't know what this is. He's like, do you feel like somebody punched you? And I was like, yeah, I had shingles.
Oh my God.
Shingles. So what I think happened, like all of that stress of like, cause we felt like we were back together for that week that I was like caretaking or whatever. And then I told him, I was like, I have shingles. And he goes, oh, I can probably come tomorrow to like bring you some stuff if you need something. And I was like, any one of my friends would be here right now.
Right now.
If I asked them. Like what? And that was like, to me, I was like, he gave you shingles. He sucks. Stop. Just stop it.
Yeah.
So that was like 2 months ago.
I think it's such a tough spot to be in when like you are so in love with somebody and there's all these other factors that like you're not going to fix. And I don't envy it. You know, that's really tough.
Yeah. It sucks.
Well, thanks for sharing with us.
Okay, but now you're an OnlyFans millionaire.
No,
yeah.
I mean, at least there's that.
I mean, listen, if it's, I always say, like, if you're sad about a guy, just look at your bank account. if you're doing well, you know what I mean?
True.
Like sometimes when I get sad, I just like to look at my checking account.
Just look in there. Just take a glimpse. Spend something. Go get a vitamin.
Treat yourself.
Why not?
Go buy some shoes. Okay, well, should we go through some of these questions that people had?
Yeah, so people asked about money, which we covered.
Okay.
Privacy. People want to know how to handle with friends and family. But one thing people asked was like, what is the interaction with like your fans?
Right.
Like
stalkers,
do people ask crazy stuff? Stalkers. You said you love them. So like, what's it been like with them?
I mean, again, you're cultivating your audience, right? So you're setting the prices, you're setting the rules, you're setting the boundaries. I don't interact with assholes. If you ask like for too many, some guy got really mad I wasn't doing enough feet stuff for him. So the majority, like 99.9% of the messages that I get are like, you look great, keep them coming, love the content, love you, you're hilarious, found you on this podcast, you're so funny, love your vagina, blah, 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 blah.
Good. Have you had, I mean, you're really accessible. You're at the stand every night.
I know.
I know how it feels. Do you have people show up ever?
Maybe, but I have a very heightened sense of like, I know if a creep is around, and it's very easy for me to just like fold myself into talk to other people.
Absolutely.
You know?
There
was one table of guys there one night, and they were like, OnlyFans, like from the beginning. And I was like, you have to give it up for that table. They're paying my rent.
I love it.
So that was fun.
So I just feel like all the questions are so much about like, how do I promote it? How do I get started? Can I make money off of this? And it's just like, everybody's different. Like, I feel like people used to ask me this when I started this viral Instagram account, and that was paying all my bills. And people ask us about the podcast, like, everybody's different, you know, like if you've been doing stuff up until that point to build a following, you have a leg up. You're not starting from ground zero. So I always say, like, I can't really tell you how to do it from a ground zero point, because I didn't do it that way, and neither did you.
Right.
So, I mean, do you feel like there's still opportunities where people can kind of start at ground zero and just have really cool, unique content, and they can be discovered? Like, is there a discovery feature of it? Like, are people kind of like coming out of nowhere with no following and doing well?
I mean, I don't want to discourage anyone from doing it if they have that instinct.
100%.
You know, like if it's going to make your life more fun, it's going to make your sex life more exciting, it's going to make you more confident.
For sure.
Do it. But
there's probably a right place, right time element to it.
Yeah. It's just, again, like you have to weigh the pros and cons, like with your lifestyle, and is it going to be worth it? I don't know about a discovery feature. And again, I mean, I feel like that novelty thing could come into play. Like, I know a girl who's like a mechanic, but she also has an OnlyFans, and I think she does very well. She's more graphic. She's like very like porn starry and out there, but she's also an exceptional mechanic. And she'll post like a 2-minute video of her like fixing a carburetor, and then the next one she's like giving a blowjob.
Yeah.
So it's like people want maybe more than just your regular straightforward sex. So like, utilize what other stuff you got going on. Maybe you knit. I don't know. Like, maybe you are into horses. I don't know how that would come into play.
Horse porn?
Sounds painful.
Yeah.
Well, you're riding a horse naked, not fucking a horse. You know?
Well, you never know. Anything
videos.
goes. But I love what you said about staying true to yourself. Like, I feel like that's the way to go through life in general, is like not to emulate what someone else is doing, is just to do what feels like true to you. And also, if you feel like you're like, wow, you know, I'm really scrolling a lot of OnlyFans and I don't see anybody knitting naked, and I knit, and like, you know, seeing where there might be a hole in the content.
Paint in the nude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Like,
Eat in the nude.
Use your talents.
But people ask, they ask like, do I have to promote it on my Instagram? You don't have to do anything.
Correct.
But how are people going to find it? So if you're like, well, I'm a mechanic and I'm just going to like slip a card to all my clients and hopefully they'll spread the word around, great. But like, people ask us questions and it's like, you don't have to do anything, but how else would you promote it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to promote it somehow.
Well, yeah. One of the top questions we got was like, how do I keep this anonymous? Or like, people like you said, like, my dad loves me. It's like, well, then don't do it. Maybe this isn't the platform for you.
Right.
You know?
If you will be sort of emotionally affected if something does get leaked, then I don't suggest doing it because it's possible.
It's possible with anything. We said that with nudes. We did our nudes episode a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, if you feel like this thing that you're sending to somebody would ruin your life, then maybe don't send it, and maybe show it to them in person. You know, Although I will say, a lot of girls have OnlyFans, they just don't know about it. It's their boyfriend's group text. What?
I've dated a lot of guys, specifically Louis J.
They take all
Gomez,
your nudes and send them to their friends.
Oh, I'm like, oh, you have an OnlyFans. You're just not making any money.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't pick up on that.
It took me a second too.
Yeah, I was like, no, you're an OnlyFans.
No, you're
in the group chat.
Can you do a feet only OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of feet?
Yeah, they want feet. The guys love feet.
So can we talk about feet?
Yeah, Ashley, let's get you a profile.
Well, I don't want my toenails broken right now. I kicked a dresser
From pegging a
on
guy?
my birthday. Yeah, I was pegging this guy on this boat. No, I do have really nice feet. They're specific. They're really pretty, but they're big and long.
That's a niche. Are you on Wiki Feet?
No, I don't.
Oh, you gotta be.
What would I do if I was like, okay, I'm going OnlyFans, only feet? Like, what would I do? Do people want to?
You could drip oil on your feet.
Very good, Raina.
No,
I have the ugliest feet of all time, so I fantasize about
Raina, someone's gonna love that foot. Like Jared Fried always says,
Kane.
you're someone's foot.
Yeah, Kane was like, they're not that disgusting.
I told Raina's boyfriend to jerk off on her feet for her birthday. Did he do it?
No, but I like, that's how I would know you love me. If you could look at my feet and still come.
But, but you just brought something up good. You told him to jerk off. Jerk off instructions are just a verbal. You're just saying that, right? So you can like write a script while your feet are, you know, the focal point of in the picture. You're like, imagine my feet like caressing your dick, your hard dick.
Jerk off a banana with your feet, girl.
Yes.
Okay. And then for the banana to come, you just squirt some shampoo at it.
Absolutely.
I love that.
You can have like
some function of beauty.
Azul's like, Mom, what are you doing? She's like, shut up, you're getting a new collar, bitch.
An orthopedic bed, Azul. It's like,
so
people asked a lot about. This is just a conversation to have amongst ourselves. It's not really like just in a general dating conversation of like your partner following OnlyFans. Like I think people want to know that too. Like I know my boyfriend is on OnlyFans. Like how should I feel about this?
That's a great conversation.
I know. I don't know. I mean, is it?
Because
I guess
what
I want to
if
know
you're dating a guy,
right?
And he subs to my OnlyFans.
That's what I'm saying.
We're hanging out at the stand. Maybe he's bought a message. He's seen my vagina.
Okay, so you tell
feel?
us, like, how did you tell your boyfriend that you were doing it? What did that conversation look like?
I just kind of told him, I was like, oh, well, I have this other source of income. And he was like, what? And I was like, well, I'm on OnlyFans. He's like, what are you doing on there? I was like, stuff, getting naked, showing my vagina.
Yeah.
But if he subscribe, I mean, it's like a weird thing. I'm pretty sure he still subs to mine.
I think it's like a lot of nuance. Like I think it's like every situation's different. So I guess, you know, we just can categorize it as porn in some way.
Yeah.
I guess I probably wouldn't want my partner getting private like stuff. You know what I mean? It feels like, are you scrolling through? But then at the same time, it feels a little different than porn because they're like paying Kerryn $25 a month. Like, I'm just working through this on the spot.
No,
like,
I misunderstood your question, and that's a better question that you asked, which is what do you find out your boyfriend subscribes to Kerryn's?
That was the question.
Kerryn. Sorry,
yeah.
Thank you for letting me run with that for an hour.
I know. I was like, can we just cut this? So, well, I was like, what do you like? No, like,
but you're right because you're not gonna like you can't see like Sasha Grey. Like you watch her porn, you're not gonna have access to her, but you can go to the stand, see you perform.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, Raina. Like you find out Kane is on OnlyFans. Like, how do you feel? Like there's a couple people that he's paying them monthly to see them. Like. This is just, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I guess I have to like work through it in my head. Like my initial reaction is like, it's just porn. This is what he likes to jerk off to. But like, it feels
more personal.
It feels more personal than porn.
More personal.
Like, I mean, I'm masturbating and I'm like firing up a website. I'm just going to pick the thing I think is going to make me come the hardest and I keep going about my day. I'm not giving those people money and following them.
It's also like, I think you would hope, and I'm pretty sure like my close friends' boyfriends don't sub to my OnlyFans.
Right.
I feel like you would hope that like they would have that boundary for themselves and that they wouldn't almost like, I want my boyfriends to see my girlfriends, and I realize it doesn't always happen like that, but like as like my sisters, you know, like this is the vibe. Like we don't want to see any of them naked.
100% that they're a platonic relationship
in
terms of family.
Yes. So I would put the onus on the guy to be a stand-up guy and not do that. If he's like subbing to like rando like on OnlyFans, I don't really see a huge problem with it.
Yeah, I guess it's like what is the line? Like
would you care if he subbed to like Bad Babies OnlyFans?
Right, but
a crazy celeb.
Yeah,
now I'm thinking
like a crazy celeb. I mean, it's again, that's why I say there's like so much nuance to this, because I think it's like you feel like you know these people, like you are getting masturbation videos from them sent to you privately. You know, granted, maybe they're sending them to hundreds of other people, but you don't know that. Like, do I want my boyfriend getting masturbation videos from Kerryn?
I don't know. And you bring up another point.
Kerryn, but Kerryn's my friend. But like, not
you bring
Kerryn,
up
a random person.
Which is like, what if I met my boyfriend? He was like, I've been subscribing to this OnlyFans for 2 years, and like, can I ask him to stop? He's like, I've known this person longer than you. I've had a deeper relationship.
I feel like that's the Sex and the City episode. That guy had to have porn on all the time when he was fucking Miranda, and he was like, I've been with these girls for years. I just met you. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't like that.
I wouldn't like it either.
I'd be like, this doesn't work.
I guess I honestly like if my boyfriend had an OnlyFans, as long as he was able to like pay for dinner and pay our rent, he could do it. I just don't want to know about it.
I would love it if my boyfriend had one. I would love it if it was like for a show. Like I again, like I see mine as like tickets to a show, right? I'm more like an art dealer than like I don't like talking that much. So if he was just like showing off for all these like thirsty women and like making bank and spending the money on me, love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I just don't want to know about it. I guess that's how I feel. If my boyfriend's subscribing to a bunch
he's
of OnlyFans.
subscribing,
Yeah, you guys again, different
Totally
pages.
different thing.
Yeah,
Raina was saying,
Am I okay?
he's a
fine.
subscriber.
It's
Karen
okay.
took it as her man having his own account.
Are we okay? I've been sneezing a
We're
lot
gonna
today.
cover it all.
It is nuanced.
Raina misinterprets every question I ask.
Yeah.
After three and a half
ran with it.
years.
You know, like it dawned on me that I misinterpreted it like about 30 seconds in, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. She didn't interrupt me.
We're in too deep now.
Maybe no one will notice.
I don't want to be rude to Raina. I'm like, she doesn't get it.
You're like, Ashley's so rude to Raina.
We're just not connecting today. Yeah, God, I hadn't even thought about that. If my man was on OnlyFans, I'm like, go off, King.
Right?
Like, I don't know.
Would you?
I don't know. I mean, I certainly wouldn't tell him to stop making money.
Right.
If he was pulling in 50K, okay, listen, if you're pulling in $25 a month, you got to get off that shit. Okay. You can't even pay for dinner with this.
Yeah.
You got to get off of it.
Yeah. You got to weigh the pros and the cons.
And how much of a way of a life is it? I mean, if you guys, I mean, I do recommend the OnlyFans doc on Hulu. I think it's called OnlyFans Selling Sex, but it's on Hulu. And a bunch of people from this podcast were on it, Shampoo Dram and Nikki Glazer. But they talk about like people, there are people that do it every single day and post constantly.
Yeah.
That I would not like. I want somebody who's lazy like you.
Yeah.
For sure.
People asked about taxes a lot.
Taxes was brutal.
Do they 1099 you?
Absolutely. I knew that was coming. Like I had that money. Like I was like, this is going to be a
But
lot.
like OnlyFans probably provides you tax documents.
Yep.
Yeah. So they know what's going on. It's not like under the table. Like
No.
OnlyFans is like, you're making money, you got to report it.
Right.
So no really issues there. Just make sure you know that when tax season comes, there's probably documents in your portal or something.
Absolutely.
Documents in your portal. So sexy.
You should start a tax OnlyFans. Like, let's get fucking sexy.
Let's get some documents in your portal. I'm gonna 1099 that beehole.
We're gonna write off till we get off.
Oh my God. I love it.
Okay, while we're talking about the government involvement in this, a couple people asked, does this show up on a background check?
Probably. I don't know.
Your name's attached to it, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, Karen.
Is
Karen
your
comes.
name, is it Kerryn Feehan?
My screen name is Eminem 6969.
Eminem spelled like the rapper or the candy?
The rapper.
Eminem 6969?
Why? Are you a huge Eminem fan?
Because when I brought it back, I wanted to like put the song like Guess Who's Back, like Slim Shady.
Guess
Like
Who's
so the
Back?
second time I was like, lean in, do the name too.
I'm so dead.
I'm
What was it before? Before you were back?
Oh my God, I don't remember. Before I died.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
So,
Okay, so are less people using their real name? Like, it's not so much like an Instagram handle. It's going to be something a little bit different.
Yeah.
So probably less coming up on the background check. I mean,
If you don't attach your name to it.
right. If you don't attach it, like, does it say Kerryn Feehan anywhere in there?
I don't think so.
Like, probably not then. You know what I mean?
Listen, I wouldn't do anything on the internet I didn't want a job to find out about. Somebody, there are companies whose job it
The
is to
trick
find
is
this
like
stuff.
stop having lame jobs. Like
Right.
Right. If you're going to work at Salesforce, like they have a pretty sophisticated software that can like do a real background
Yeah.
check on you. Yeah, they could probably find it. So if you want like a normal 9 to 5 at some corporate ass
Can
job,
people
in
really
this,
fire
like-
you over this?
in this like
they
woke
can not
environment.
Not hire
and then
you.
they can also, it's not legal to fire somebody, but they can manage you out, make your life a living hell like Amazon did to me.
And
Right,
isn't that
true.
discrimination against sex workers?
Right.
Well, I will say, like, I mean, this is like getting to Amazon, like, found out that I had like a food Instagram on the side, and they did not like that I was quote unquote running a separate business, which like I was barely making any money, it was just a hobby, but like I got managed out because of it.
Wow.
Like you have, I mean, I'm sure that they would say it was a million
Yeah.
other reasons, but
Right.
you know, those type of companies, like they can say anything that they want. You're an at-will employee, and they can at-will fire you.
True.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do anything on the internet you don't want people to know about.
I know. I mean, I think people just like the overwhelming response, which I love this. People are like into it, and they just are like, how can I do this? And like, no one can ever find out, but I can still make money. I was like, that's probably pretty
I
tough.
think the idea is just try to remove shame from your life.
Yeah.
If that's like a big tall order.
What about neck down, feet only? That's how.
But then do people even care? Like, do you feel like I feel like
think
maybe
that if
part
you
of the
don't have a following and then you're still not going to use your face, you're not going to make any money.
right, unless you have some
point.
crazy different thing about your body.
Yeah, you
or
got
what
3
you're
titties.
doing.
Get on there. We've been waiting for you.
Yeah, but
Like I said, like I do encourage people, if you want to do it. But at the same time, coming from a business standpoint, I don't encourage more people to do it. It's thick out there. Let me keep my money.
have you?
I don't need you cutting into my
When
pie.
did you actually start? Do you know the like month?
It's like January before the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, before the pandemic?
Yeah, I was like teasing with it a little
Oh my
bit.
God, you were a pioneer.
Thank you.
I thought you got on it in the pandemic.
I wasn't doing. I when I lost my writing job, I obviously like got more into it.
But 2020 January.
Yeah.
You were like really right place, right time.
100%. Yeah.
I think Ashley and I were really lucky, and our podcast is phenomenal, but there just weren't as many podcasts out back then, you know?
I felt like that about my Instagram account, Bros Being Basic. Like I started it in 2014. I was like, I don't know that I could have done this in 2016 or 17. Like there was just so much less humor accounts. There was nothing like it, you know? So have you felt a shift at all? Like of it becoming saturated? I mean, now at this point, you've been on it for a year and a half.
I mean,
or off and on it. But.
I've found that the more followers I get, the mine, keeps going up and keeps.
Okay. But you haven't felt like
better.
The more and more people like on OnlyFans that you've lost subs and whatnot.
No.
Okay.
Look at you using the lingo, subs. You've lost subs.
Subscribers is a long word.
When you are on, I mean, this is a serious question. When you do stand up, when you like hop off stage or you like follow me, I'm Eminem 6969.
Oh my God.
Whenever I want a little bump, whenever I want a little bump, though, I will be like, I'll ask Jim and Sam if I can come on. I'm like, let me shout out my OnlyFans real fast.
Okay. People said, who's subscribing to these pages? I haven't met one person that pays for an OnlyFans. Yeah, you have.
Yes, you
by
have.
the way.
Right.
No one's broadcasting it. They're like, hey, nice to meet you. I subscribe to OnlyFans.
Right.
So, sis, you have.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think she's asking that in a derogatory way. Like, who are these freaks? I think they're a lot of people.
I mean, I want to see famous people named men.
Yeah.
Men don't have all this money. They have all the money. That's why men like to shame women for doing it. Like Akash Singh, I think, like posted a clip of like somebody's like, "What's OnlyFans?" Like they're whores. They're just whores. And like at first it like really irritated me, but then I sort of started thinking about it like this is like listening to Pauly Shore talk about science. Do you know what? Like this person is so far removed from what I consider like a sexual type of entity that like who gives a shit what they think.
Honestly, if I saw you, I want to see everybody naked. It's my dream. I just want to see everyone's titties. If I saw you perform and I was like, that chick was funny, and you hopped off stage and you were like, for $25 at Eminem 6969, you could see me naked, I would pull it up right then.
I mean, I have about 3 minutes on OnlyFans in my act. I didn't do it while my mom was here, but I have plenty of jokes. I say, I was like, people try to make me feel embarrassed. It's like, I don't know. I've never spent $25 to look at somebody's butthole. You're weird.
Yeah, that's so true. You're
like,
trying to embarrass me.
That's the embarrassed party.
Weirdo.
My butthole's great. And then I say my vagina's perfect. Like grown men have shed tears just upon gazing at my vagina. It's like, that's why I always keep a little bit of toilet paper stuck to it. So I can dab up their tears.
Dry their tears.
Dry their tears. And if people laugh at that, it's great. If like people look like, huh? I'm like, you're not wiping. If you don't get that joke, you're not wiping.
Yeah, you don't get it.
So
your butthole's
funny.
gross. You need a Hello Tushy bidet. Do you feel like you get people? Do you get a lot of 1 monthers? Like, do you feel like people come in, they soak up a lot of content, and then they leave, or do you see a lot of retention?
I've had a lot of retention. Luckily, there'll be like little waves, but like my baseline number, like I don't really stray far from it.
That's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congrats.
They like it.
That's awesome.
They're having fun.
Yeah, I figured that was probably, I feel like Andrew Collins, that kind of person. Like he's told me before, he'll like, someone promotes their OnlyFans, he'll go subscribe, do 1 month, and then he's out. You know what I mean?
I bet he leaves a reason too. Hey, I really enjoyed this month together, but I moved on. I found a new girl to sub to.
Will they ask you? Did they want information?
My guys?
Like why? No, I'm saying OnlyFans, like when you unsubscribe, or they like, why are you leaving?
Like it's a gym you're quitting?
Well, like when I quit when I skip HelloFresh for a week, they ask you why, and I say I'll be on vacation, and they say, can you give us some more details? Like where I'm going?
Right. What do you want from me?
Like it's very funny to me. Like I told you I'm on vacation. They're like, any more details? I'm like, no. What do you want to know?
No, what are you going to be wearing on your vacation? Are you traveling alone?
I think next time I'm just going to give them a bunch of like weird stuff.
You should.
Right. Here you
What
go.
hotel are you staying at?
Whoever's reading this, you're welcome. Code GG14.
And I'm sure guys leave if they don't like the prices, or if they don't like that it's not dirty enough for them. They leave.
Also, I'm like too lazy to unsubscribe for something. Like Andrew Collins is too.
Oh my God, me too. There's like Alchemy 43 has been like charging me $100 a month. I haven't gone back there for Botox in 6 months. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
But I keep paying. But I think it goes towards like a treatment. But I gotta cancel it.
Once in a blue moon, I'll check my bank statement and I'll see like a charge for something I've been paying for 2 years. I'm like, I should cancel that.
Yeah. Do it all the time.
Well, I feel like we got through most of these questions. I mean, people are just like, how can I quit my job and become a foot fetish on OnlyFans? I'm like,
have feet that look like Ashley's and not mine.
Stop living under the regime that of these social constructs that people tell you how you have to make money. Do your own thing.
Right. Okay.
I love that. Well, Kerryn, this was so fun.
So fun.
I love this episode so much.
I know, this is so much fun.
I feel like people are going to want to find you literally everywhere. So if you want to drop your podcast name again, YouTube series, your Instagram, of course, and anywhere else people can follow you.
Yes, please follow me on Instagram at Kerryn Feehan. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, also Kerryn Feehan. Twitter is at KFreehams, and yeah, OnlyFans ladies.
M&M 6969. And your name is spelled like not like the Karen.
Oh, right.
Karen. Your name is
it's Kerryn. It's Kerryn.
Yes.
My mother just had to be that woman.
But that's better because we all know that
Karen,
the other
brutal.
way.
My aunt Karen, she's so dumb. She's from Florida. She doesn't get it. She's like, why does everyone hate me?
That's your name.
That's why.
Aunt Karen. Okay, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this. And you can go to our website, girlsgoteatpodcast.com. You can get show tickets and merchandise and sign up for the newsletter. Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram. I'm Ash Hess on Instagram. Raina is Rain.Greenberg. Girls_Gotta Eat on Twitter. And YouTube.com/girlsgottaeat. And what's her OnlyFans? It's M&M.
Ashley's feet.
Ashley's feet. Girls Gotta Eat.
Yeah. Ashley's giant feet 6969.
Not Raina's feet 00000.
And we'll see you next week.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.